Hey guys, Dark Humility here with a Druid on the closed beta Season 11 Prosperity. I'm going to do a mini guide and demo for the 8 Wolf, that's right, 8 Wolf Summoner. We're back to the typical Summoner, and with the changes in the patch, it does appear like the typical Summoner does outperform the Denmother Druid Summoner that was a bit more prominent last season. You could get 8 Spirit Wolves as well with a special helm called Fenris, whereas Denmother uses Now to be fair, the Grizzlies are a lot tankier, so against ultra powerful pinnacle bosses, Denmother should still have a bit of an advantage. But in most cases, like mapping and maybe a little bit weaker bosses, it does appear like the advantage will go to the typical summoner with more wolves. More wolves is pretty hype though, and since this is such a common build that people run early game, I almost feel like it's not a bad idea for me to make a new video on it, considering that there are changes potentially to the build. And you know, people want to see how they could just graduate it through endgame. It's like the ultimate dad gamer build. You just have to press 1 or 2 buttons maximum as you teleport around. It's just one button teleports one of the buttons, so you could also just let your dude slowly advance as well, turn into a bear. Lots of very chill methods to play this. But we will go over the stats, the skills, the mercenary, and the gear like usual with all of my awesome characters and builds. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. And let me know what you guys think. Is this a GG or is it not a GG? You guys let me know. Anyway, oh freak, I forgot to dang, I keep forgetting to I'm gonna have to fix that actually before we move on. Anyway, yeah, we'll go over the stats and skills. Also keep in mind that the new season will be starting very soon. Very soon. New season will be starting May 16th, and I'll be releasing the tier list and infographic, the updated version, here in just a few days. Usually it's at the end of open beta or just after that I release that, and it's good stuff. Very good stuff indeed. Yeah, I made a small error there, but it's gonna cost us. It will cost us indeed. Alright, remember you can bow in town now as of the new patch, which is always incredible stuff. And yeah, let's get our army back so you guys can see how this goes. It's pretty cool having that full entourage on hand while having amp bow, might, vigor, and fanaticism on myself. You could even go an iron golem for pride, which is pretty sick if you want, and you have plenty of defense for it. But yeah, anyway, before we get to the demos, let's get to the brass tacks. So I like going max block on this build because I like tele-stomping, and it's really good in fortified maps, particularly in my opinion, if you tele-stomp. But you don't have to do that. You can just play it however, and it should work just fine. That being said, they did nerf ravens as well, so, and they buffed wolves, so maybe there's less emphasis on the raven play. That is something also to note. I got enough dex for max block though, and enough strength to wear my gear. You don't have to go max block though if you're running maybe like lidless or something for more plus skills for the ravens. Personally, I don't think it's really all that worth anymore, but you definitely can. And then of course you put the rest of your points into vitality, and res is pretty easy I guess on this particular version of the build. And then we do have hit recovery, and hit recovery is fine, but it's not super important, honestly. 68 breakpoint is mainly for casting ravens. You didn't really get too much out of FCR though. It's a lot. It's really just a plus skill, aura damage, aura build of some kind. So that's really what you want to see it as in general, and that's how you will succeed. And then of course you could just stack magic find to the moon. Heck, you could even wear, you know, a skull collector instead of getting more auras. And you could just fill it full of S, or you could use that Ming Song to do that, and then you never have to swap if you want to resummon. But either way, this build is beastly. Of course, we're gonna have summon GCs. Oh wait, sorry. Skills. Skills max gust to get 0.5 cooldown, so you can move around. That's at least how I play it. You can turn into a bear and then not do that, and then max at Heart of the Wolverine. For me though, I've maxed all the way down here, and then of course if you want to get a bit more damage for different things, you could go Wolverine and whatnot, but the problem is that these all synergize one another, so it's hard to go ones without the other. And then of course you have one into each of the creepers, which does help a little bit with sustain. Wolverine's going to give you that damage, more auras. Very good. Mercenary is Vigor Aura Act 1. Vigor Aura does help the minions respond a bit better, which is good. They'll do damage a bit faster. And then Amp is pretty big when all of your minions do physical damage. Lava Gouts, of course, also helps out with the Enchant Fire on Striking, which does give every monster in your team AR and fire damage. And then Crown of Ages, Templars is for Might, Razor Tail, and Trex. Just some defensive items, some things to give it a bit more attack speed as well, and Pierce, so that the amp happens most often on the Mercenary, as often as it can. That being said, I forgot to get the arrows on her. That'll help her out a little bit. More Pierce could be good too though, so you can maybe put a defensive option, maybe even the new belt, because we have an F Templars there and you could get a lot of defense. So yeah, there's a lot of really good options there, and you don't really have to worry about that too much. Alright, my own gear, I use Ming Song to summon them because it's got the most plus skills you can get. You could even get a +1 skill corruption though. But one disclaimer is that we're not able to get corruptions throughout almost all of beta, so we will be testing it at a slightly weaker value than if you had all your +1 corruptions, and that's just kind of how it is. But overall, it shouldn't matter much, as they do tons of damage and pretty much eat anything alive that they touch. So, good news. Got some FCRs, some plus skills. And that's pretty much it. Also, I did forget that I do want 52 block rate as well. So I should get water walks actually. There you go. Probably could add a bit more health, but it's okay. And then we should be set to go. I mean, that's pretty much what you do. Max block. I do like the DR and Storm Shield, but there's lots of shield options. Heck, you could even go Epiphany just to troll and get a little bit more FCR and get Energy Shield. Lots of ways to stay alive, but the DR off Storm Shield is solid. Got the Beast for another aura on top of Might, on top of Heart of the Wolverine, on top of Vigor. And like I said, you could even get concentration if you put Pride on an Iron Golem, which is pretty insane. But for the most part, plus skills for the Wolf are nice too. Negative Fizz Res will not apply to your summons most likely though. Maybe your Ravens, not 100% sure. Ravens are kind of weird. And then of course, we did actually test Ravens off of the Eagle Horn, and unfortunately the Raven's AI is not good enough to make that OP. You might think that would be meta after some of the changes this season, but unfortunately it's not. And there we have it. Okay. So the Fenris, by the way, looks freaking awesome. So Erlen is a beast for making that. That's so good. Such a good helm. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Okay. Alright, see how many monsters we can kill in 2 minutes. Let's do a test here. Oh, I forgot about CBF. Damn. Good thing it doesn't matter much. Actually, I think I do have CBF. No wait, no I don't. It's Holy Freeze though. You can see though, telly stomping is very effective though. Alright, we'll time stop it at 29:35 for this beautiful creature. You can see though, if I just stand at my summons, they just kill everything. And honestly, they kill it fast too. Oh, never mind.
Afternoon.
Mercenary got crunched. Okay, never mind. I think you guys get the idea though. It's absolutely super strong. That's actually one reason why I kind of prefer the Act 5 Mercenary. And on the Act 5 Mercenary, you can actually go in Act 5. So Vigor is nice, but you can go in Act 5 Mercenary with Amp Weapon and Cyclopean Roar and then Innocence, and then you can even get Battle Cry, so that can actually help a bit too. But I'd say both approaches are valid depending on like exactly how you're playing it and the time of day and the position of the planets and whatnot. I don't know about all that, but yeah. Okay, one thing I actually absolutely have to show you guys though on YouTube though is how ridiculous this is. See, people don't understand that Summoner is like the easiest, cheapest OP build there is in the early game. Summoner can even do late game maps pretty effectively, particularly Fortified. But I'd say the most interesting thing about Summoner is that Summoner can also do bosses and pinnacle bosses, and it's just, it's absurdly strong no matter what it seems. So, resummoning them with the higher skill level does seem to be good. Oops. Look at Talent just get murdered. Now, all the wolves ended up getting murdered by the end, but, I don't know, like Summoner just turns that fight into a joke. I've never seen like a faster fight in my life. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane stuff. Let's see. Wait, let me show you guys what happens to like Lilith. Like this is with the wolf buff. Like you got even more wolves too, so you don't have to rely on the ravens, which keep disappearing and have kind of shit AI. You know. You're gonna have to do Lilith, by the way, in season 11 in order to get to Ubers. Finally, they have made it required. I think that's probably should have been a thing anyway. So. I can show you guys a fortified map after this though, and then I think that will be good. Will you guys enjoy the summon druid? I know the vast majority of the community, I feel like this single build probably makes up like 20 to 30% of all starting builds, if not higher, from the entire community. Obviously this is not a starter version, but alright, where are you at, Lilith? Where you at today? We gotta get you skewered by ravens. Oh, oops, I didn't do battle cry, whatever. As you can see though, I mean, it's just, it's trivial, man, it's trivial. And obviously if you keep casting things the whole time, even with a lot less plus skills, it's just super easy. You can see in a fortified map though what I'm talking about though. Damn, she killed the bears. Whoa. It's actually kind of nuts. Alright, so this is fortified. And notice that, you know, considering how strong they are against bosses, look at that minion of destruction. He just disappeared. Second he comes anywhere near my animals. That Ming swap though, coming in hot clutch. Storm Shield Beast, of course, on the other swap. Oh boy, it's crazy, man. Fuck, oh, it's crazy, Summoner. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys join me on the 13th or 14th for the tier list overview at twitch.tv. Dark Humility from the Mad Lad in the Mad Lab. Hopefully you guys are beasts this season and enjoy it. This season's better than ever. The quality of life, the balance, fixing and cleaning up even a lot of the balances on some things just being overly dominant in every situation. And so many things are so much more situational. But yeah, check out this build and all my builds from last season for a very complete picture of what you can do this season. Not a lot of changes from last season to this season, except for you should check out the Holy Freeze Sacrifice Paladin. That is a bit different this season. You're going to want to use that specific approach that we use on there. And yeah. See you guys in the next one. Let's get it. Crush it, guys. Dark Humility over and out. Let's go.